The founder of the website Seeking Arrangement is Brandon Wade, and he joins us this morning alongside Emma Gamma, who is, well, it says here, an experienced sugar baby. You recently divorced your sugar daddy.
I'm in the process, yeah.
Okay.
You're in the process of going through that.
Okay. Brandon.
Yes.
Seeking Arrangement. It's mainly, presumably, about older, rich men looking for younger women, is it?
There's also older, wealthy women looking for younger men as well.
What's the difference in proportions?
Well, there's more men, obviously, but that's because of society. I think we just have a society where men tend to be more successful.
Is it actually a dating
It really
website?
is. And actually, it's a concept invented by my mother. I mean, my mom was the one who told me that, you know, when I was young and I was shy and I never had a girlfriend, she was the one who told me, just study hard, focus on your school. One day you'll be successful, you'll be generous, and all the women would flock to you.
Okay, how come, if it's a dating website, 40% of the men on it are married?
Well, married men, a lot of them are lonely, and they want to date as well. And as you know, there are websites out there that cater to married men. And in fact, on normal dating websites, there are lots of married men lying and pretending to be single people dating.
Brandon, you're saying the idea was inspired by your mum, and she was the one who said focus on your work, and then the women will come to you. What does she make of the fact that you promote the idea of being a sugar daddy? You've been one yourself, and that actually perhaps the relationship you had wasn't built on the foundations of love and trust, as we'd like to believe all relationships should be, but actually was more to do with you had a girl that really loved the fact that you had a massive bank balance.
Well, I would say all dating sites and all dating, in fact, is very superficial in the beginning. It's all about looks, it's all about how much money you have in your wallet. But any long-term relationship has to be based on trust as well as love. So without those things, in the long run, the relationships fall apart, right?
How can it be based on trust if 40% of the men are married?
Well, that's the thing about Seeking Arrangement. The site itself promotes honesty. So you have to be brutally honest about what you want, what you can offer, and your current status.
Do the men have to be honest with their wives that they're on the site?
Ideally, the answer is yes, because otherwise it would be considered cheating.
Okay, let's talk to Emma then, because Emma, you're a sugar baby, so you're going through the process of divorcing your sugar daddy.
Yeah.
As Brandon's saying, it's all about ultimately being honest and having trust and love. But your relationship with your sugar daddy, how long did that last?
7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's failing now. Will you be more nervous about finding another sugar daddy, or once this divorce is through, or are you already looking for another one?
No, I'm already looking.
You're already looking for...
Yeah.
And what is it specifically about having a sugar daddy? Why aren't you trying to find somebody who you can love and trust without just because they've got all the gifts and they can shower you with all this lavish...
So, for me, I didn't go out to fall in love with an older man. I met him when I was 21, and I was just lucky enough that he was in a good place. He'd worked hard for what he had, and it was love.
Are you in... I mean, you know, people will be asking, you're on this website?
Yes, yeah.
Are you in it specifically for the money?
I think, for me, for going on Seeking Arrangement, I've always dated older men anyway. So for me, it's not so much the money, it's... I guess I've always liked to date older men. So for me, it's just if you're successful and you're older, then great.
You could presumably find someone like that on another dating website. You just change your parameters to include older guys.
I could, but I like how upfront you can be with it and what you expect.
Do you like how explicit it is, that this guy is going to have a lot of money, he's going to shower me with lots of money, and he's going to shower me lots of presents and lots of gifts?
Well, doesn't everybody? Wouldn't every woman like that?
I wonder, though, Brandon, when you talk, you know, we're talking honestly about the fact that, you know, these are very wealthy men. Some of them may be cheating on their wives. They're offering primarily money. It sounds like a financial transaction. There's a certain expectation involved in that transaction. Is it an escort service?
Well, the answer is absolutely not. And you keep focusing on the married men aspect of it. You have forgotten that...
Well, it's almost half of the male members
Well,
of the
60% are single as well. But that goes to show one thing, that a lot of people who are married are very unhappy. And most men, unfortunately, cheat, and that's a fact. But why cheat when you can be completely upfront and honest?
Well, we have had a statement from the End Violence Against Women campaign, and they say the key problem with these websites is they trivialise relationships or connections which may turn out to be exploitative and harmful to usually younger women and some young men as well. How do you respond to that?
I would say if you're desperate and if you're in that sort of a situation, don't join the website. you're in no position to be negotiating a relationship at that point. In order to join the website, you need to understand what you have to offer, what you want in a relationship, and be in a position of strength. And that's why I say most sugar babies who join the site are empowered. They know exactly what they want, they have goals, and they're out there to achieve them.
But there is that worry, though, isn't it? A vulnerable young girl who could go onto the site because it sounds really glamorous and really lovely could get into a relationship where she's being exploited and being controlled by somebody and then could get stuck and it could become harmful, like they're suggesting.
It could, but I think you could have that in any relationship that you're in that could become harmful. You know, you're putting yourself out there when you're on any dating website. So I would say this one is just like the rest of them, only that you know what you want.